Keep this one short because I'm going to be entering some traffic, and I'm pretty much going to be in traffic the rest of the day till I get to Tractor Supply and make my delivery. I guess I could wait till I got to Tractor Supply to make the delivery to do the video, but I'll probably end up taking a power nap while they're unloading. So yeah, anyways, real quick,
turn left at the roundabout.
silver went up and down.
West State Street.
Now it looks like it's going back up again. They was saying that silver should go up to like $400 or $500. Now they're saying that it's gonna probably stabilize around $75 per ounce. Who knows? But I'm kind of glad I stopped buying at $80 an ounce. So if it goes up, cool, if I make money. If it don't go up, well, I still made money on my my old silver that I bought, you know, a few years ago before I started getting into Dividend Stocks. Basically, the only reason why I quit buying silver back when it was like $35 an ounce was
speed limit reduced ahead.
Because my dealer, if you will, got cancer and closed up shop, and I never found another dealer. But or silver broker, silver dealer, whatever you want to call them. Anyways, I bought some junk gold from him too, but mostly silver. And I also had a friend who was in hard times, and I'd already been helping her out financially, but she wanted some extra money, so she wanted to sell off some of her old jewelry. So I basically went and got the best value for her gold. You know, went around to like 5 or 6 different places and got different prices, and what people were willing to pay for it. And then I ended up keeping it and gave her, you know, the top dollar that I was able to find, because I knew, even though it might have been worth a little less than that, or maybe it was worth what I paid for it, it would go up in value. And I was helping out a friend, and I was helping myself out at the same time, so it was a win-win. It wasn't like a shit ton of gold or anything. It was a couple $100 worth, but you know, yeah. Anyways, so I've got some gold, I've got some silver, mostly silver, and there you go. So, according to my Snowball app, I can retire in 2070. It was 68, now it went up to 70. But that's based on the money that I have in there now, based on the predicted trajectory. And that's provided I don't put any more money in there. So I'm 1% towards my goal at this moment. Now, I think I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. I know I said it on my website, because I'm basically liquidating my IT business. I'm liquidating anything that's not generating me revenue or enough revenue. Because since I discovered all of this, I've already made approximately 15% more return on my investment. I've been a lot more, I've been approximately 15% more successful than I was before, which isn't saying much because I feel like I was in the negative before. You know, I only got as soon as this loads, here we go. I've got almost $17,000 invested. My stock is actually down. It's worth almost $1,400, so that's about $3,000 loss. I've made almost 2,000, almost 2,000 in day trading. I've made almost 2,000 in dividends. So I'm almost 1,000 ahead as of now. But a lot of stocks are down. And that's why you want to diversify, because if something goes bankrupt, then you're not out as much. Between my brother's stocks and his crypto, my brother's down like $10,000. I'm only down $3,000. But my brother is also not as diversified as I am. And my brother also has a little bit more money invested than I do. Because my brother's one of those go big or go home kind of guys. And I'm more of a CYOA kind of guy. Although I've taken risks, I've lost some money. You know, according to this, I'm losing $3,000. But I haven't lost it yet because the stock could go back up. I did lose $1,000 a year in dividends because I got a dividend cut, and it was BITO. They went, I don't remember what percentage they were paying before, but now they're paying like 1%, maybe 2%. .25%. That's a huge dividend cut. But it's based on crypto. It's based on Bitcoin. Bitcoin is way down right now. Let's see what Bitcoin is doing real quick. Bitcoin is down to nearly $69,000 a coin. Now I'm waiting for it to go down before I buy more. But I'm not gonna go buy more until this 45 cents is in the negative. Once what I'm holding goes into negative, then I'll buy some more. I think I cashed out around 30,000, maybe 32,000, I can't remember. But around 30,000 is when I cashed out. And I pretty much broke even because I was buying it on the downward spiral from this last one before it shot back up. Had I known it was going to shoot back up, I would have kept my money in there. But I needed the money at the time. I was broke, so I cashed it out. That's the only reason. Otherwise, I would have left it in there, and I would have made a couple grand, a few $1,000s. But it is what it is. So I'll try again this go around when it drops back down again, and it'll probably never go up to the $1 million that people think it's gonna go up to, but who knows? when it goes down, I'm going to buy some more. When it goes down some more, I'll buy some more. And basically, I'm going to try to get up to 10 coins of each cryptocurrency. And in that way, when the next one goes back up to $100,000, boom, I got $1 million. And then I can roll it over into dividend stocks, which is probably more of a wise investment. I was listening to investment guru guy the other day, and he said crypto puts the V in volatile, which is true. So yeah, I think it's best just to get 10 coins of each as cheap as possible and just sit on those 10 coins until like potentially maybe goes up to $1 million, or 100,000 a coin, and then boom, you're rich. You're done. So that's basically what I'm doing. I'm not really putting too much stock into crypto. I know digital is the future, but everybody's treating crypto like day trading stocks. So, and so am I. So, I don't know. The future of crypto is more or less our government's trying to go digital, which we pretty much are. We still have paper money, but we're still pretty much digital. And people like my girlfriend don't even carry cash anymore. The only reason why I carry cash is because there's people that charge 3% or more for credit card or debit card transactions. So I always keep, or try to keep, at least $100 on me at all times. There's another reason why I was carrying cash before that started becoming an epidemic, and that was certain gas stations I get 5 cents off if I pay cash. So I tended to carry $100 cash on me at all times for that reason as well. I'm a company truck driver, so I don't have to worry about paying for diesel. But when I'm home, where I live, or where I used to live, I would get 5 cents off on my gas whenever I would fuel in town at a certain gas station. So I basically I'd look at the 2 gas stations in town, which is Hotspot and Casey's. There's another one, but it's not as good. And I'd basically go with the cheaper one, but I would go with Hotspot because they would give me the 5 cents off most of the time. But sometimes Casey's was cheaper, so I'd go there, and then I get my Casey's points. And if I don't have cash, well, then I fuel at Casey's because I get Casey's points. So that's basically what I did. But now I live 5 minutes from the Pilot, and I get 10 cents off a gallon at the Pilot. And so I do still go to my old town quite a bit because I still have land over there. And so it depends on when or if I need fuel. But if it's cheaper to go to the Pilot, I typically just go there and use my credit card, and I just pay the credit card when I get my paycheck. So, and I get 10 cents off. So, yeah. But anyhow, a lot of these places, like one of the places that I get my feed for my animals, they charge if I use a credit card or debit card. And there's a couple more places I can't remember. But anyhow, so I try to carry cash for that reason. Oh, the DMV, they charge you. It's like the government is trying to force us to go digital, go paperless, but yet you go to the DMV, who actually is a subcontractor for the government, but nonetheless, they're still a government entity, sorta. They're not they're like an NGO, a non-government organization. You know, it's like, but they're doing business with or for the government, and the government's making us go digital, but yet these people are charging us a fee to go digital. And it's like, nah, so I carry cash. I don't like fees. Anyways, I forgot where I was going with that, but digital currency, right? So I think crypto is not as much the future as people want to believe it is. Gold and silver will always be the default currency. Maybe even copper, I don't know. Just don't overpay for copper rounds.
3 miles.
Only pay spot value.
Onto I-465 toward I-465 south.
You're better off buying silver. Anyways, and maybe like gram gold bars, you know, like there was this company a multi-level marketing company I joined a long time ago and never really did anything with it, but it was a good idea. It was called carrot bars. I can't remember now, but you would get these like credit card looking cards with a gram of gold in them, and so each card would be worth whatever a gram of gold is worth, and it would be exchangeable like dollars, except it'd be like $40, $50. It'd be like a $50 bill or whatever, $50 card. But yeah, anyways, so gold and silver will always be the default currency. Where were we? Snowball. So yeah, that's where I got my dividend cut. But all my other stuff still paying pretty good dividends. These are the best dividend yielding stocks. I'm starting to get into traffic, so I'm probably gonna have to cut this video short and come back to it later. Maybe when I get to Tractor Supply, I'll finish this video, because I'm coming into Indianapolis now and it's not a good time to be on the phone. So anyways, check out these stocks, but make sure you diversify. Don't just put all your eggs in these baskets. Alright, I'll be back. I'm just gonna set the phone down in the cup holder and let it time out for a minute. Maybe I'll put some music to it.
Continue for 3/4 of a mile. In half a mile, take exit 200 on the right, onto I-465 toward I-465 south. Speed limit reduced ahead. In half a mile, use the right 2 lanes to take the ramp to I-465 west. Turn at the third right onto East 82nd Street. Turn at the second right onto Dash Street. Speed limit reduced ahead. Take the first exit on the right onto I-465. Use the right 2 lanes to take the ramp to I-465 west. Continue on I-465 west for 12 miles. Keep right onto I-465.
a little bit smoother sailing now. BTF. I wouldn't be surprised to see BTF and BETH dividends getting cut as well. EETH is an Ether coin ETF. It's also been plummeting. But I don't know how Ethercoin is doing. I haven't been keeping track. So far, I'm in the negative on that one. I've only received $800 in dividends. Oh, I've got $2,500 invested. It looks like. But it's only worth $1,000. So I'm down $1,500. But if it goes back up, I'll be okay. BITO is probably worse. Let's see. I probably put too much money into those two stocks. Yeah, I put about the same into it, and it's worth about the same. But I've actually made more money off BITO than I did EETH, because it's only in the negative $877. So that's 2,000 of my 3,000 that I'm out where my stocks are down. But, you know, Bitcoin recovers, Ether coin recovers, the stock will recover, and then I'll be okay. Traffic's starting to get thick again, so I might have to stop. stop at 2 hours and get fuel and get a shower. Somebody drove off the road. My top dividend stocks that I have are the biggest losers for the day. All of them. That's crazy. But that's what you get when you invest in high yielding dividend stocks. A lot of times they're risky stocks. So you got to be careful. And that's why you want to diversify. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. That's why I have like a butt ton of stocks.
In half a mile, keep left onto I-865.
Some of these don't. Well, some of these are crypto, and some of them are stocks that don't pay dividends. So that's why it says 0%.
Left curve ahead.
Now this Bitwise Bitcoin ETF, it should pay a dividend, but it don't. You know, ETFs are supposed to pay dividends. Franklin Bitcoin ETF, nothing.
No engine braking ahead. Speed warning.
Trump coin. I don't know if that's up or down. Let's see. I haven't been paying attention to it. It looks like it went up. It was flatlining for a while.
Speed warning.
Oh, it went up like yesterday. I guess I should have bought more coins while I was down. I just made $100 on my almost 3 coins. See, I should have had 10 coins. I should have bought some more coins while I was down. Oh well. I'll wait till it goes back down again. I'll buy some more. Right now I don't have a lot of cash. And I don't pay that much attention to crypto. So this is kind of cool. So when I started out, I made $5.50 in dividends. The next year, I made $417 in dividends. Last year, I made $615. No, not last year, 2024. Last year, I made $2,500 in dividends. And right now, my projection is still about the same. But that's only because BITO did a dividend cut. But once they raise their dividends again, that number will go back up. So far, I'm doing pretty good. Overall. I should be able to at least double this by the end of the year. So, yeah. Now I'm making about $4,000, maybe $5,000 a month. So if I can double what I made last year on dividends, then I'll basically replace 1 month of my income by the end of the year. If I more than double it, I'm doing even better. So yeah, if I can double it every year, so by the end of this year, if I can have 5,000, and then I could double it again the next year, I'll have 10,000. So let's see, this is 2026. So this will be 2027. 2028. 2029. 2030. That's provided I can double it every year. But that probably won't happen. But if I can double it every year, I'll be able to retire in 30-30. probably stay at it a little bit longer and try to get that number. But, or at least get 100,000. But if I can at least replace my income, I can at least semi-retire and start working part-time. So yeah. So once I get to 80,000, I mean, I'm making 60 right now, give or take. But I should be making more. I made more money 20 years ago than what I'm doing now. That being said, I was also doing hazmat, where now I'm just doing dry van. I was also doing tankers. I was doing hazmat tankers. So, yeah, I don't think I'll be able to double my money by 30, or I don't think I'll be able to retire by 30 or 2030, but maybe by 2035 I can retire. So, yeah, I want to retire at 60. I don't see it happening, but I'm going to do my best to make it happen. That being said, you know, if I don't have an income between the age of 60 and 65, then my Social Security is going to get cut. So I almost have to work till I'm 70 just to get a decent Social Security check to go with my decent dividend check. So who knows? But once I get my portfolio up to 20,000, then I'm going to start putting more money into my Roth IRA as well. So this portfolio won't grow as fast once I reach 20,000, because I'll be matching my IRA with my own portfolio, and I'll be growing them neck and neck. And my IRA doesn't pay dividends. Well, it does, but it doesn't pay that much. So once I turn 60, I'll be able to start collecting tax-free. So what I'm going to do when I'm 60 is I'm going to have my Edward Jones broker start having my dividends deposited into my account. Like I said, it won't be very much. But then I can use those dividends to also help grow this portfolio here as well. So I'll use money, basically my paycheck goes through Edward Jones first. And so if this portfolio is higher than my Edward Jones portfolio, then I'll put money in my Edward Jones portfolio. And then if it's higher, then I'll put money in this portfolio. And I'll use my dividends from Edward Jones to grow either this one or that one. Like I said, it's not going to be a lot of dividends, but it'll help me grow whichever portfolio I want to grow. And then all the dividends I get from here, I'll just keep reinvesting into here. And then I'll use my paycheck to grow the other one, if need be, if that makes sense. So yeah. If this one grows faster than my Edward Jones one grows, then most of my paycheck will go into my Edward Jones portfolio, and I'll be using my dividends to grow this one. And I'm also probably going to buy some more gold and silver. And I also want to buy some more real estate that's going to make me money. I decided that I'm going to become a flipper. I'm going to become like that guy on Pretty Woman. Except I'm not going to buy businesses. I'm going to buy land. Raw land. Subdivide it and and sell it. But anyways, yeah. But I gotta make more money before I can do that. I'm just gonna sell off what I have now, put it in dividend stocks, and then in my Roth IRA, and go from there. Because I got 30 acres now too. I got 20 acres that I own 10% of. I'm gonna start buying people out of that next. I got another 15 acres I own almost free and clear. I still, you know, I owe 30,000 on it, but it's worth probably 200. And at least 150. So, yeah. So I'm paying it down, but I only got 4% interest on it, so I'm paying it down last. I'm paying down my credit cards right now, paying down my pickup truck, and then I'll start paying down that land. Especially once I subdivide it and start selling it off. It's 2 parcels right now. I'm gonna subdivide it, move the loan to 1 or 2 of the parcels, because I'm gonna turn the 2 right now into 4. So I'll subdivide it and move the loan to 1 or 2 of the parcels, sell off the other 2, and then use them to pay off the loan, and then I can sell the last 2 parcels. That's the goal. So yeah. Then I'll start buying out the other people and the other property. I'll subdivide it and sell it also. And then put all that money in dividend stocks and my IRA. That'll definitely help me grow my portfolio big time. Every time I change lanes, the slow person that I was trying to get away from gets in the lane I was moving into. And then I gotta move back into the other lane. It's crazy. Anyways, so yeah, that's pretty much it for now. I hadn't done one of these videos in a while. So basically what I'm doing is I look at my, when I get paid a dividend, I look at the stock, I look at the dividend yield, whatever it's paying, say it's 2%. Then I look at the earnings per share, and then if the earnings per share is up, then I'll look at the 5-year growth. If the 5-year growth is up, I'll throw in 20 bucks. If the 5-year growth is down, then I'll only throw in $2. If the dividend yield is 20%, I'll do the same thing. If the earnings per share is good, the 5-year growth is up, I'll throw in 200. If I have 200, if I only have 150, I'll only throw in 150. But if it's down, then I'll only throw in 200, or then I'll only throw in 20 bucks. But if the earnings per share is in the negative, then I won't invest at all. So that's basically how I invest. And I just try to buy a little bit of everything. And if the earnings per share is good and the stock is doing good, I put more money there. And also, I only invest when I get paid. So the stocks that pay me monthly, I have more money in those. The stocks that pay me quarterly, I have more money in them than I do the stocks that pay me annually. And then there's some stocks that don't pay annually at all. They pay like every 2 years. So I hardly invest in those at all. So if they pay annually, I invest annually. If they pay quarterly, I invest quarterly. If they pay monthly, I invest monthly. And in that way, I increase my odds of getting paid monthly, and I increase my monthly paycheck. And then every quarter I get a bonus, and then every year I get a bonus from the other ones that only pay quarterly and annually. But I'm really relying on the dividend stocks that pay me monthly. So every time they pay me, I look at their dividend yield, I look at their stock growth, I look at their earnings per share, and then I decide if and how much I'm going to put in. And that's pretty much what I do. Some of them don't give an earnings per share, so then I just don't look at that. Some of them do give a PE ratio, but I don't know how to read that yet. I'm still learning. But once I figure out how to read that properly, then I'll be using that method as well. But anyways, right now, if they don't give me the earnings per share, then I just look at the 5-year growth. If the 5-year growth is down and it only pays 10%, I only throw in $10. If the 5-year growth is up, then I'll throw in 100. If I have 100. If I only have 75, I'll throw in 75. So there you go. That's pretty much what I do. Everybody else does things differently. But that's how I don't automatically drip. I manually drip. And that's how I do it. I wait till I get paid. I go look at the stock. If it's worth buying more, I'll buy more. If it's not, I don't. I just sit back and collect my dividends, and maybe it'll pay me back before it goes bankrupt, if it goes bankrupt. You know. But if the earnings per share is in a negative and I don't invest this month, next month it might be in a positive. So next month I might put some money in. But if the earnings per share is in a negative, I feel that's too much of a risk, so I won't invest. If that makes sense. So anyways, but if it's in the negative by like a couple pennies, then I don't worry about that. I treat that as a non sequitur. It's kind of neutral. They're breaking even. But if the earnings per share is like a couple dollars or more, I won't reinvest. So anyways, yeah. And that's all I got to say about that. I guess we'll talk to you later. Good luck. And don't forget, just because you're starting out with a couple dollars a year in dividends, doesn't mean it's not going to work. Just diversify. Oh, there's another video too that my brother shared, which I've pretty much been saying this for most of this for years, but it basically said put your money in the S&P 500. There's a couple different S&P 500 stocks you can put your money in. So put your money in the S&P 500 and then buy stocks in whatever you use. If you drive a Tesla, buy Tesla stock. If you drive a Toyota, buy Toyota stock. If you drive a Freightliner, buy Freightliner stock. You have a credit card and you use Visa, you should own it. You should have Visa stock. If you're wearing Levi's or Hanes or Fruit of the Looms, you should own that stock. Anything you buy, you should own that stock. You know, and then just figure out how much you want to own. But you should at least own a portion of the company that you're buying the products from. You go to Starbucks. You know, you might be wasting $5 a day or more on Starbucks, but if you own their stock, you're reinvesting in yourself. And you're reinvesting in everybody else buying the same product. So all the other people that are spending money on said product, you're making money off them as well. So, yeah. If you believe in pharmaceuticals, you should be buying pharmaceutical stocks. If you you believe in natural medicine, you should be buying natural medicine stocks. That's just that's the basics, and then you can branch off from there. So anyways, I don't know why this says I made $600 in 2022. That's not accurate. There it is. $5.50. Now, I was also doing Cash App at that time, so I was making a little bit more, but not much. Maybe $10, maybe $20, but it wasn't nothing to brag about. So yeah, you might start out small, a couple bucks a year, but keep doing it, it'll grow. It'll grow. Then eventually you can quit your job. That's my goal. I just wish I found this when I was younger. I was basically doing everything backwards. They teach us to do everything backwards. Get a job, invest your money in dividend stocks. Then once you can survive on your dividend stocks, then start your own business. Do whatever you want to do. Yeah. Like I said, I was doing it backwards. But now I'm working on retirement. Oh, now I can retire in 2069 again. We'll keep an eye on that and see how it grows. Okay, bye.